Gonna take a quick look inside the beehives. It's just above freezing and very nice and sunny, making it by far the warmest day we've had in a while, as in months. Haven't peeked in since last fall, though I have seen activity at all 4 hive doors on some of the sunnier days, with bees coming out and pooping, carrying out dead bees and stuff. So we're gonna just do a quick peek. There's a lady flying around. I don't know if you could see her. There's of course nothing out here to forage yet, under 3 feet of snow. There, one just flew in the door, but they do come out and do some bathroom breaks and stuff. Anyway, I'm just gonna stick my head in the end of the hive and be sure it does not look like they are running out of honey as we get towards spring here. I'm pretty sure I left plenty, but I just want to double check. So I've only halfway slid the lid off there. I don't know if the camera can pick up on the bees humming. All the bees are behind this wall. This frame of honey was kept full on this end just in case I need to feed it to them at this time of year. That's their own honey from last year. I guess you can see the full comb better in the sun. They can crawl under that board and come over here and get this if they need to. And since they haven't, I'm fairly certain they got plenty of honey. But what I'm going to do, and I didn't bring my tripod so I can't hold the camera and do this, I'm going to pull that board back just enough to see what's on the end frame there without breaking into their brood nest. And as long as I see honey on there, I'll leave this right where it is. If that's looking low, I'll put it on the other side of the board so it's easy for them to get to. Very exciting sight to see there. Lots and lots of bee ladies. They're not out of honey on that last comb, but where it looks like they are feeding on it, I think I will put my spare one over there up against them. But they look busy and healthy. This is very exciting. It's not spring here yet, but we're getting close enough that if they look this good, I'm optimistic about their chances of making it. This is the next hive I'm checking on. You can see some dead bees in the snow and the board outside of the hive entrance. That's perfectly normal because some bees die through the course of the winter, and if the hive is healthy, it hauls them out and deposits them outside the door. This is the second hive I'm peeking in. I've pulled the backboard away already. Here's my frames of spare honey for them. And there are some bees. See a few crawling up in that corner. I'm seeing more dead ones on the bottom, but there's definitely live bees in here. So I think I'm going to separate this right here and see what's going on behind there, because it doesn't look like they've started feeding on most of this honey, so they're definitely not hungry. Quite a few more. It's hard to see down into the shadow there on the next frame behind it, and they are feeding on honey there. So I'll probably put one of my spares over, but they definitely have plenty here yet. Everybody followed me to check on the beehives. There comes Spooky. Button and Velcro are over there now under the hive trying to figure out what I did. Tana's following Spooky around. And Ponder is trying to catch something in one of the holes in the footprints of the path I made. I don't know if there's a mouse over there or what. What you got, pretty girl? Oh, are you looking at the bee who's buzzing? There is a bee right over here. But I don't think we need to harass the bee. That is what you're looking at, isn't it? Yeah, let's leave the bee lady alone. This is the third hive I'm checking on. It definitely has a lot more bees. I've just pulled this board back. A lot more bees active than that second one. That second one's alive right now, but doesn't have a lot of bees. I'm not sure it'll make it to spring. They definitely have plenty of food. But see how these guys are hollowing out the honey stores here on their very back frame? Definitely going to give them a couple spare frames so that they make it. But they aren't out of food quite yet, and they appear to be doing well. Once again, we're at our fourth hive. Seeing activity around the door. Seeing active things out here, like that's a bee poop. There is 3 bee poops, and there's some dead bees dropped around the entrance there that they've hauled out. So we'll take a peek inside here. But that all looks promising. So I'm on my 4th hive. Haven't even opened the board yet. This is the one that was smallest going into winter that I thought might not survive. And I actually had to go put on my bee suit because there's so many flying around. So now I gotta see what they actually have going on. Well, hold the board back. They've got some honey emptied out of there, but I just looked behind this frame and there's actually still a decent amount of honey. I just can't believe how many active bees there are. It seems like there's more bees now than there were last fall in this hive. It was my newest split and the smallest, and that's why I thought they might not make the winter. But they are sure busy. I don't know if you can hear and see them buzzing all around in the air and everywhere here. It's like 33 degrees out here. Well, you can probably still see the bees buzzing around that hive behind me. This one's certainly doing much better than I expected. The 1st and 3rd one we looked at seemed to be doing great. And that 2nd one is alive, but I'm not confident in their chances of making it. Got plenty of food, so we'll see what they can do, but that's where we're at right now. That's bee poops all across the snow surface. Couldn't see that if it was summer and there was some grass growing, but all those little yellow-brown specks in the snow are bee poop. Well, this is highly encouraging. You can see now the sun's warmed up just a little more even. It's kind of late afternoon. I think it has climbed to almost 40 degrees just while I've been doing this. And that hive door's kind of humming for this time of year. Anyway, all 4 are alive right now. If I was guessing, hive 2 is not going to make it till spring. I'm not sure what's going on there. They got plenty of food. They just don't have a lot of bees left. They were strong looking going into winter. Hive 4 I'm really happy with because they weren't that strong going into winter. I was actually betting they weren't going to make it, and they are hopping today. So anyway, it is not spring yet, so I can't make any promises. As you can see, we've still got 2.5, near 3 feet of snow off here in the untouched areas. It'll be a while till it's actually spring, but this isn't very, very encouraging, especially where I'm hearing that nationwide commercial beekeepers lost somewhere between 70 to 100% of their colonies this winter, which is a really bad die-off. Now, some colonies die. If every hive split and swarm always survived, I suppose the world would be overrun with honeybees. So, just like every other creature, it's natural that some die, but 70 to 100% in a single year is not a natural amount, obviously. I love just hearing them buzz. Anyway, so it's exciting. It looks like we're maybe at 75% survival here. I mean, it's 100% right now, but I'm guessing that's going to be 75% by the time spring actually gets here. So anyway, I'm very happy with that. A bee just pooped on my hand. They're out here doing some bathroom breaks. Anyhow, that's exciting. I'm still a fan of the horizontal hives, the thicker, bigger boxes with insulation, the deeper frames. They seem to be happy with that. This is now our 3rd winter we've wintered bees. The first year we went into winter with 2 hives. We had 100% survival. The second winter we went into winter with 4 hives. No, 3 hives. We went into winter with 3 hives and we had 100% loss. And this year we currently have 100% survival, that I'm guessing is going to end up being a 75% survival. Last year, as best I can tell, still probably what happened was we had too many freeze-thaw cycles. It was a warm winter, which, despite the fact that that might sound pleasant, when it warms up above freezing and then goes back to below 0 and then above freezing, that's really hard on plants and driveway clearing and honeybees, I think. Anyway, I think that's much tougher for them to deal with than if it just stays consistently cold, because the year before, when both of our 2 colonies survived, it was extremely cold, colder than average even for us, and we had 100% survival. This year was not colder than average. We are getting some thaws now, but it stayed pretty good and frozen most of the winter, and I think that's much easier for them to deal with. So we'll see what we've got, but that's what we've got right now. The Dr. Leo, who we got our hives from, or he's got free plans if you want to build your own. I know the last email I saw from him, they had 100% survival of their bees this year, which is considerably better than 100% die-off. He's attributing that, I think, fairly to the fact that they use this style of hive, a deeper, bigger hive. They don't move their bees around the country. He's got only wild caught swarms, not purchase bees. I would love to do that here. There are no wild swarms in our part of the state. I've never seen a wild honeybee in thousands of miles of walking around the mountains here. Never could find anyone who's twice as old as me who's ever seen one. I don't think we have any. Otherwise, I would love to do that. But we have our own splits and swarms from here. He's able to keep his in an area where he owns a lot of the acres around them, or controls it, or has deals with the farmers that own it, so there's no spraying of pesticides and herbicides and such at all in the area his bees can frequent. We don't have enough ground that we control here for that, though we make a great effort to plant as much flowering herbs and flowers and fruits and veggies and trees and everything that we can on the property, so that they will spend as much time foraging on the ground that we control as possible. Anyway, so that's what we got right now. If you were wondering about how the bees are doing, that's it. It's exciting to hear them buzz on a sunny winter day in the snow.
Thank you everyone for watching. It means a lot, and I hope you learned something along the way.
If you know somebody else who would enjoy this as well, share it with them.